So here are some of the excavation fragments, architectural fragments that are out of context, so we're not able to reconstruct them, but they're important and we want to save them. This is a piece of a Corinthian capital, part of a lintel stone where the doorpost would hinge. You can see this where the sockets of the door would go. This is from a Byzantine church. These are the chancel screen from a Byzantine church. That's made of marble, very nice. That would separate the nave of the church from the apse of the church, or the bema of the church. And these are mainly lintels, a basin, grinders, socket stones. So the doors are pivoting on socket stones. Pieces of a column drum, also column drums here, and various features. This is part of the cornice, so the trim that goes around the top of the building, the cornice, you can see here. And then this is what you would call an engaged column. It's like connects to it rather than being freestanding. You got a base and different cornices. The different iconography and styles are unique to different time periods. So once we understand the motifs in different centuries, again, that helps us to accurately date the material. And here's an interesting scene, like a hunting scene. See the lion and the hunter here. And
these are all from kind of what period, or you had a context?
Well, but we can tell from the motif, it would be more typical of the Hellenistic period, intertestamental period, where some of this would be Byzantine, some would be from the biblical period. And so we usually can tell architecturally, stylistically, and by the motif what the time period is, even if it's not in context. Sometimes we'll find a part of it that's out of context. Let's say that part was found out of context, and we're guessing on what he's hunting. He's hunting something. Then we find that part in context. So obviously then we can connect them and understand the whole scene.
That's neat, yeah. That's
so it's sort of like metonymy, a type of metaphor where the part represents the whole. If we can get part of it, like the rim of a vessel. If we get the rim of the vessel, we can tell you what the whole vessel looked like.
Yeah.
So. Again, you've got some socket stones and various pieces here. Ceramics from some of the excavations on the right. The large mosaic tiles that are typical of the Byzantine period with the plaster still on it. What they would do is they would level out the ground and then pour plaster and then set the mosaic tiles into the plaster. For us, that creates a floor surface, and that's the best that you could hope for, because underneath that floor is a sealed locus. We know that it's undisturbed from antiquity, so we can be confident in dating that. Whereas often we have mixed contexts that we have to be more careful in dating, but a floor is the best you could hope for.
Do they usually paint those on the floor and then know where to put those? I just noticed at Caesarea, for example, there was like someone had traced it, and then they put, is that how they lay them in place, or is it everywhere do they?
Well, sometimes yes, but the difficulty is that you want the plaster to still be wet.
Okay.
And so sometimes with a pigment, it's not really writing on there, but they're using some sort of a pigment to trace out where they're going to go. And then a master, you have to remember these guys are specialists in that area. So they do that same job all day, every day. So they're really good at it. And you can pick this up, John, this grinder. And again, this is not limestone like the other one we saw. This is basalt. So you can see it's much harder. Yeah. It's from the Galilee. So somebody brought this from Galilee because it's a harder stone and is a value here. And this is where I was saying that microscopic pieces of this stuff were breaking off into their food. And
so they're taking wheat or something and crushing it on here? Or is that what?
Yeah,
okay, grinding it down?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep. Big paving stone down there. Obviously, pieces of a column drum that are through here. Temples, churches, synagogues, all of these things. When you're talking about a culture that goes back many thousands of years, then we've got reuse. So you'll find something like this that's from one time period, then reused, say part of a wall in a later time period.